sleeping bag because I'm going to be here late. And thank you guys for watching. And if you have questions, we're doing this, you know, because a lot of people had questions about this weird little movie that we made. And if you have questions, we're going to put a microphone down here, and we're going to leave it a little dark in case you're shy. And there'll be one up there. It's for the. I always think the people on the balcony are the people on the most drugs. I don't know. But and apparently I'm right. Oh hey, Striker.
Hello. They want to hear you talk way more than me, but I have some questions here from the internet that we're going to start off. First off, for Tomo.
Okay, we're going to break the ice with Tomo.
Yeah, we're going to break the ice with Tomo.
Tomo from Earth, ladies and gentlemen.
So this comes from Chloe, who is in Ireland. So if anyone knows Chloe in Ireland, let her know her question is being asked. So in the video, Tomo, you use a key to unlock a book with a secret message in it. What is the secret message, Tomo?
Oh, we spoke.
We did speak about this, and I will never tell. We talked about it during the video. We said, this will be one of those things that we never talk about. So, Chloe from Ireland, I'm sorry.
I mean, come on, can't you give him a hint or something?
Yeah, come on, buddy.
There's something to do with the story. Once I went to a Chinese food restaurant, and I looked at my fortune, and it actually said, the fortune was crossed out, and it said, help, I'm trapped in a fortune cookie factory. And I mean, I was horrified. My heart started beating. There was a little phone number there, and I don't know if I forgot to put the plus in front of it or something, but I couldn't get through, and it still horrifies me to this day. So that's actually what's on the. No, it's not. Sorry. But there is something. We talked about this a lot, and what a big part of this is you know, we all go on this kind of Joseph Campbellian journey to confront really ourselves in a series of challenges and face fears and fetishes, and in the kind of guise of a quest. Tomo's resolution, each one of us has a resolution, and his was finding this note. And I always thought that Tomo's vignette really represents the search for knowledge. And what he finds was an answer to a question that he's always wanted to know in his life. And we had this kind of strange, you know, therapeutic session where we talked about life and dreams. And I tried to do it with my brother, he just told me to fuck off. But
it was quite fitting too, because Jared had just recommended a book to me at that time during the making of the video that really did. I mean, it changed my life.
Yeah.
Sure. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Atlas Shrugged.
You know how we do it. Changing lives everywhere, Tomo. Anyway.
All right, here you go, Shannon. We have something for you. Obviously, your brothers, you just had that look at your brother like F off. What about him directing you in Hurricane? What was that like?
It was a nightmare. It was a goddamn nightmare. No, it was actually really,
You can be honest.
it was a
family here.
It was a fucking nightmare.
You know?
No, actually it was really an exciting time to be working with Jared. I mean, the energy was amazing, just to be shooting in New York City, and the backdrop was just unbelievable to be shooting in. And
I think we've all had a great...
he's a fine director and a fine
thank you very much.
Actor, musician, artist. So it was great.
I think we all have a love of New York City as well, and for us it's not just so much about New York, but it's about a city that represents the ability to live your fucking dreams no matter what, you know? And true. That's been an important thing for us, and New York has always represented the ability to do that.
Well said.
What about motorcycles, Shannon? Do you ride one? Do you have a license? What's your history? Are you good? Who was the stunt guy falling? Give us some of that.
It's all Shannon, by
It's
the way.
all me. It's all me. Do you believe me? Yeah, it was actually all me.
Watch out, Harrison Ford.
All right, what about the questions in the audience? Does anyone have anything good? Is the microphone out there? Oh, hold on. Okay, go ahead with the microphone to them.
Yeah, does anybody have anything directed to Shannon or Tomo before they, you know, finish? We can't see out there, so
I see hands over there. There's a lovely lady in white with blonde hair raising her hand over there. Be like Donnie, you gotta sprint over there. Run, woman, run.
Somebody get that girl a Red Bull. Tomo?
It was Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand.
Good one.
You know what? While you guys are here, I'm going to cover this side with the mic because it's hard for that lady to run back and forth. And I went to a gym recently so I can go faster. All right. Hi. Go ahead.
Hi. I have a question. What was the biggest challenge in the movie? Like the biggest challenge of a scene to do in the movie?
I mean, for us, like for me and Shannon, I don't know that it was all that challenging. Really, Jared's the one that had the challenges to deal with the editing and, you know, trying to get things done in some kind of an orderly fashion.
It was actually me in the beginning of the movie with the abs. Challenging to like replicate that, but
It was his body.
I didn't have time to hit the gym, so I put my head on his body. There was a time, though, one of the locations we shot was actually a government building downtown, and Shannon walked in, and it was the morning, and he got into kind of a confrontation with a security guard that escalated very quickly into the entire shoot being shut down, and us being told we were basically losing the right to shoot there. But fortunately, Shannon managed to appease the people, the powers that be, and we left. But you know, I think the hard thing for us was really just getting it done. You know, when you do something that's in the time, and but I've been working with these guys for quite some time, and it's nice that their acting careers are thriving and mine's in the fucking gutter. You know, the choices we make. I mean, Tomo's gonna be on what's that show you're gonna be on?
Gossip Girl, right?
He's actually gonna make, he's got like a 5-episode arc where he plays like a perverted neighbor who lives upstairs. And he's gonna model it after that guy Larry from Three's Company. For the older people here that just laughed, yes, you're old. Anything else?
Yes, we have somebody right here, and then we'll go to you, and then I think maybe the two guys want to go, right? So here, this is Luke from England.
What inspired you guys to do the whole bondage, BDSM music video type thing?
Luke from England, with a very American accent. He's like, that's England, Ohio, my friend. He's like, well, fuck, the bitches love it, bro. Excuse my B word. What inspired, you know, I mean, that's something we'll get into in a second, I think, overall. But basically, Tomo and Shannon are just really horny. You know, sex is obviously a part of all of our lives, even the people that love to pretend that it isn't. You know, they magically have 14 children. On Saturdays, because of course they don't do that on Sunday, they go to church. You know, for us, it was, we've explored sex, shh, don't tell anybody, in our lives, but we hadn't done it so much creatively, so it was important to address that as artists. You know, you can't hit the same note all the time. It's quite boring, and I think to further yourself as a creative person, you need to explore new avenues, and this was it. So, yeah. Thank you.
All right, now we have an
English
audience
friend
member over there, right over
Yeah.
to our left. Go ahead.
Actually, my daughter turned me on to you guys about a year ago. She's 16, and I couldn't bring her, of course, but she...
Strange choice of words, I must say.
Hey, I'm sorry. But anyway, so I pictured a love story, a crash, a hurricane, and then you guys came out with this video, and I'm like, sorry, honey, you can't watch it. So, you know, I'm like, I didn't know what to tell her about that. This was, woo!
Is there a question at the end of that?
You guys are amazing, and you're rated for me, so that's all that matters.
Okay, thank you. I'm very excited too. I didn't hear what you said, but it sounded very fun.
We have a question up here.
Yes, one more.
Over here.
Yes.
Up top.
Balcony.
Up.
Oh, balcony.
Over here.
Yes. Oh, the freaks on the balcony, yes.
Hi guys.
Go Go ahead, spit it out.
First, I'd like to say thanks for the music. It's inspiring and motivating. In the
Thank
video, you guys are in fight scenes. I'm wondering if you had any formal training.
Just in prison. Yeah, I mean, you know, what's interesting is I was going to show here tonight, but we didn't want to bore you guys, is I did a series of tests before I shot this, and the thing about working with Bartholomew Cubbins is this is a major pain in the ass, and there's a lot of preparation, a lot of obsessing, a lot of second guessing, but, you know, we just can't get rid of that son of a bitch. But I did shoot a test with these guys because one of the first things I thought was, you know, I'm a big believer in both of them. They're both very talented and interesting human beings. And I knew they can do pretty much anything if they set their mind to it. But there's a couple of things they can't do. Number one, Tomo cannot act. He knows it.
Great. Yeah.
We laughed about it, it's okay. But he's a great cook. You know, I can't cook to save my life, and I can't act either, but I seem to skirt by. No, but these guys, what I did was a series of tests, and I actually set them up backstage, much like a theater here. And where was it? Myrtle Beach. He remembers every place we've ever been. Myrtle Beach. So I set them up in a fight scene, and they had a great time kicking each other's ass. So we did a little research at first. And that was, I think, really helpful for all of us. And as you can see, Tomo actually is blossoming as an actor. I just don't want him to get too cocky. All right, so let's say goodbye to Shannon and Tomo. You might want to hang. Oh, hey. Hi. It's Shaker. Somebody spilled their coffee.
All right, now we're gonna go one-on-one a little bit here. I gotta talk to you about the sex stuff.
Mono.
Yeah. What's your favorite curse word, Jared?
Right?
Fuck you.
It's not the first time you've said that to me. All right, so we're right here in the middle of Hollywood. It's your hometown. I'm sure it's exciting to do this, but why? You know, what's the goal of this?
Good question. There are a few different things that we wanted to accomplish. Number one, this is a chance to show Hurricane in its entirety, unfiltered, uncensored, completely unclothed. And that was really important to me and Shannon and Tomo to show this thing because it was really difficult to get it broadcast. It was banned, as you know, we've talked about, and a lot of you know out there. It was banned on quite a few networks around the world. And this was a chance to show it in its purest form. It's even difficult to show on the internet. I mean, you think that you could just put anything anywhere, but the uncensored version can't even be shown on YouTube, which is very bizarre when you think of some of the strange things on YouTube. You know, someone sees a nipple or something, it's like the end of the world.
But you had to think, making the video, all right, the goal is to show this to as many people as possible, get it on TV, get it on the internet everywhere around the world. I mean, you had to think a little bit, or maybe you didn't, that some people are going to be, like, some networks would say, nah, not really, we need to edit this thing down.
I did think that it was going to have a hard time being broadcast. That's why I actually made an edited version. But that edited version is the one that actually had the hard time getting on. And it's funny, I'll read you. I know it is a little bit of a pain in the ass, but I think it's a healthy debate, the need that some people feel to censor or to protect all of you people out there from certain images that they deem harmful, versus the right and the need for artists to share their art with, you know, the world. And I mean, it's a healthy debate where that fine line is. Obviously, I knew that some of what was in here, sex, nipples being pierced, some of that stuff would never make it on broadcast.
What about that one scene where the girl is bent over and the other girl's finger was like running?
Oh, what, you're filthy. Wash your mouth out with soap, young boy.
I saw it. I was sitting in the third row down there, and but I've seen it before. But so
yeah, well, I'm going to show you.
Oh, you got a list? You have a list?
Hold on. Did somebody, Robbie? Did you just re-email me that thing or not? But it's the list that was sent back to me from the network. At least I thought I had it. Somebody promised they would email it to me. Let me see. And it was crazy. There was a list of, you know, edit points that they wanted removed from the film. And what fascinated me is it wasn't really, there's quite a bit of violence in it, there's some other imagery as well, but they had the most problem with the sexuality of it, and it seemed to not really matter how much I cut. They were really intent on not showing it, and we were pretty much banished to the graveyard shift on everything from, you know, the BBC to other networks, which we won't name right now for fear of certain banishment. But there's this, you have a copy? Hey Robbie, can you bring it to me right now?
So this is a list, so you sent out the video and you got a list back of everything that had to go.
Yeah, and it's pretty amazing to kind of look at it, because, hold on. Do you have it? She's out smoking a cigarette.
Well, I have another question for you.
Robbie, yeah, ask me another one, we'll come back to it.
So have you...
Oh, hold on, it's right here.
If you wouldn't wear such a huge jacket with so many pockets, you would have...
Yeah, but I'm still going to hang Robbie by her eyelids because she's not in here right now. Here. Hey, I run a tight ship, motherfuckers, you better watch out. You think this shit comes easy? You see what I do for you people? Okay, enough of that. I love you too. Okay, my favorite was at 9 minutes and 17 seconds. Woman runs finger over other woman's G-string clad bottom and touches her anus. And it says, this shot makes the video completely 1000% restricted from any broadcast possible. But it's interesting, they say down here, you know, there's a list right here. I don't know if you can see this, but these are all edit points on that entire page. And, you know, it's everything between fight between gimp man and bystander, kick to leg, too graphic, post 7 p.m. Girl in leather bunny outfit on knees briefly kisses a man with long stringy hair. Check this out. 4 minutes, 35 seconds. Man pulls a key on ribbon chain from his mouth. Explicit.
What?
That's right. Motorcyclist spins bike and skids across crowd. Explicit. Bondage ball gag is put over other girl's mouth. Cyclist stabs man. Priest, rabbi, and monk burn books. I mean, it goes on and on. Large-breasted lady in bra and gas mask. Yes, that's Natalie. You know, a couple in bondage gear, girl with gag, French voiceover about abandoning yourself is too explicit. I don't know, you know. So it's dripping hot wax over body. And what I found interesting is you can't show nipples even if they're covered with tassels. They have to be completely like, you know, it brought up a lot of things like, in my opinion, which is slightly skewed and strange, we all know that. You know, kids are sitting in front of the in front of the TV all day and night and being bombarded with basically what is corporate porn. You know, I'm not joking. I mean, it's seriously corporate porn. It's like, yeah, I'm a capitalist as well, but it's like this uber capitalist right-wing corporate porn that we're bombarding each other with all the time. But as soon as it comes to sexuality, oh, either clap or don't. In the middle is not good. You know, as soon as you start to talk about sex, people get so scared. Like, I think, you know, they think that people are going to start fucking in the streets if they show something on TV. You know, if that was the case, just anytime a war broke out, they could play Porky's or something, and then we'd all just be weird and horny or something. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to shut up. If Clinton did the cigar, so can we? Yeah, well, I suppose. Be careful what you say around here. The CIA is in the back listening. Yeah.
All right, so You make Hurricane. It's 13 minutes and 13 seconds, I believe, right? Is that on purpose?
No.
No, okay.
No, of course not. We don't worship the devil.
All right.
We have our own demons.
Do you feel rejected at all because of what networks say to you about this, or it doesn't matter?
I was really just surprised because I thought I had done my homework and prepared a version that was suitable for, younger people. Obviously, there wouldn't be sex and nudity on broadcast on air. Some countries, they do that, and they do it, at a certain hour of the night, it's fine. But, the UK was very hard to get through, and we never, ever got the video shown during the day at all. I think from 10 p.m. to 6 in the morning was the only time they would show it. Which I found really surprising because it's a really liberal place.
And that's an edited version of the one we just
saw, right?
Yeah.
So it was shocking, but I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I think having a debate, a conversation, even us all kind of thinking about art and the way that we perceive things, and the conversation about sexuality is those are really good things to have creatively. Does anybody else have a question on the floor? Yes. So who has a microphone? Anybody? Am I gonna have to come down there myself? You know I will.
Oh shit.
Things are gonna get real crazy. Oh, thank you. Late again. Okay, why don't you scream it out? Everybody be quiet. Scream it out. Yeah, bring the mic down. Who's really fast and quick on their feet? Me! If you're fast and quick on your feet, come to the aisle right now. Okay? Get that microphone from her. She just got fired. Okay, no, I'm serious. Get that mic. When she's done, you take the mic and you're going to run it to people.
I have probably a million questions about Hurricane, but...
Just one.
Just one.
Thank you very much. These people know how to run the show by now.
I know you do too, so...
Yes.
In the first scene, where you're going to answer the hotel room door, there's a sticky note on the back of the door in some of the scenes. What does the sticky note say, and what does it mean?
Well, there's some things I can tell you and some I can't.
It means continuity error. Yeah.
You need to say something for the DVD commentary, you know what I mean?
Soon. When is that coming out? Right.
What I love to do, and you probably know this by now, and I love there to be several layers to things.
Yes.
Because I know that there are people out there like me who aren't such passive participants in the experience. I know that there are people who look a little deeper. So sometimes I'll leave little things. And that should be a message that you take and make up for yourself. But there are a lot of things in this that if you pay close attention, you'll find. And sometimes it's a wink from me to you guys that the average person will miss over. But when I was young, an artist, some of you may have heard me talk about before, a guy named Larry Slezak, who's a good friend of the family, and a hell of an artist. He told me about an artist that used to paint the back of the canvas as well as the front. And I was always really taken with that idea that someone would take the time to paint the back of the canvas, and even just knowing that the back was painted made you perceive that piece of art in a different way. So I think that stems from that sort of thing. Anybody else have a question?
I got one from the Twitter, and then we'll go back to the
I'm going to take my clothes off, sorry.
Is someone else
What?
like?
So is number 209 on the door, is that somehow Bible related?
Bible, no, it's related to the Argus Apocryphex, which is something that's far too delicate and deep to get into right now.
So there's details on details in the video, obviously. Everything is happening for a reason.
Yeah, and we're not fucking around here, buddy.
I didn't think you were.
It's not a hobby. Anybody else have a question on the floor?
Woo! I have the mic.
Yep.
Hi.
How many people do have questions? Raise your hand. Okay, so we're going to start to get through it quick, and if you get bored, you can just fuck off, go home and watch TV. We love you anyway. Okay, go ahead.
What was your favorite scene to film in Hurricane?
They're probably girls. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I can really say that. I really enjoy filming Shannon and Tomo. I really do. It's a pleasure for me to turn the camera on them and to capture a bit of who they are. you know, it's why I put the motorcycle scenes in, because it's so much of Shannon's life, and it's why I had Tomo playing the violin, you know, because it's a big part of his life. Maybe I'll shoot him cooking one day. But I really enjoy that, and you know, I think part of my whole thing is really creating something from nothing, and it's. I was watching the making of Hurricane, which we're working on right now, the other day.
Yeah.
We were laughing because I was walking around the space and lying down on the floor and showing how I wanted the camera to see Toma lost in his thoughts. And I think really I'm doing it for all of us, you know, not just for myself. And that's a fun thing.
Is there actual sex in the video or not? Is there anything really going on?
I don't know how many state laws may be broken if I said yes, or federal laws as well.
And it looked like the twins, the porcelain twins.
I'm going to take the fifth on all of this.
You are?
Yeah, I think it's best.
Okay.
But it is, you know, let me just say that, let me just not say anything.
All right, I think we got it. I think we got the... All right.
There are a lot of rumors circulating about that, but let's just say we... no, let's just not say anything. I think it's better.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to another audience.
Okay, we kind of have a line going over here. So, you mentioned earlier about the sex and the violence in Hurricane. Was the dichotomy in like the censored version between the sexuality and the violence intended? Because in the censored version, pretty much all the violence is pretty much left in, where the sex is completely cut out. So you're pretty much spending half the video watching a censored part.
I mean, that goes back to what I said before. People are much more comfortable with violence than they are sex, which is the weirdest thing in the world, because aren't we just all supposed to be walking around smiling and, you know, making love to each other physically and emotionally? I mean, it's a weird thing that we're all, you know, glued to the TV when people are blowing each other up, but as soon as people are expressing their sexuality, it's like this, holy shit, cover and run, bury yourselves in the sand or something. I found it strange, but, you know, I do want to say the people that, you know, see the horse people, right? I don't know if you remember, you know, the horse people, the gimp man, the man with the inflatable breasts, the porcelain twins, Stormy, the feather girl. These people really did something brave. They shared a part of their lives with it. They're not acting.
Yeah.
Those aren't actors. Those aren't. We didn't have a costume department going out and renting something. Those are people that are sharing a really deep and special and intense part of their lives with all of us. And I always feel so lucky that they trusted me enough to allow that to happen. And you know, to allow us to look behind the curtain a little bit. It was a gift.
How many times did you jump through that window when?
Oh Jesus!
How many times did that take?
Too many times. But you know what the worst was? And I don't know if someone was going to ask me what the worst, or if they asked me what the worst. But there's a scene. You know the scene where I fall in front of the building and land on the ground? Okay. Well, this was the never-ending short film, and we shot 3 days in New York, and that was supposed to be. And of course, they shot about maybe 14 days, in different cities all over the world. So I actually shot that in Indianapolis. And it's a funny story because there was a building, we played a show in Indianapolis, and some people online, if you're listening or you hear this later, you'll know what I'm talking about. But in 2006, or 2005, we played Indianapolis, and I found this building. I said, oh my God, this place is beautiful. I love architecture, I love looking at buildings. And, you know, I said, this is incredible, I gotta shoot The Kill here. You remember The Kill? And we weren't able to do it. We did it in Canada, did it in Toronto, but there I was, 5 years later, and I walk by that same building and I say, holy shit, this is the building I was in love with. So I said, this is perfect, I've got to shoot this scene that I was missing, that I didn't get to. I've got to shoot that tonight. But of course, we had one camera, much like we have two here, but Daniel was over here, and it was me and Daniel. And we set up the camera, we went to the YMCA and got one of those gym mats. And we got a big, tall ladder. And I proceeded to jump off of this thing, obviously not as high as you saw.